Hi, everybody. Good evening. Today is Saturday, November the 4th. It's 7 p.m. in Colombia. And welcome to another live class, Spanish with Mike. First, I would like to thank you for being here tonight. All of you who are right now here with us during this live broadcasting. Thank you for my friend Serena, and also welcome um, Ariane. She's from Australia, and she's part of the membership program. So thank you very much for the support. Welcome to this class. Hopefully, this is going to be useful for you, for all of you. Thank you also to the ones who are watching this video later, because as you know, this is going to be part of certain playlists that I have available on this channel. The main one is live classes, so this is one of those. So thank you very much. Remember, this is going to be available for you. Tonight we're having some sort of a thunderstorm around the area that I live in. I might have issues because sometimes when that happens, we experience blackouts, power outages. So it might affect tonight's class, but hopefully it won't. So tonight we're going to talk about articles in Spanish. We're going to try to go deep in that in order to fully understand how it works. Remember, if you like this video, please, you know what to do. Share with your friends, groups, social media. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button in order to get notifications and also to be able to participate during the chat during these live classes, so you can ask questions and stuff. And also thank you for all of you who participate in the membership program. Thank you very much for the support. And tonight, as I told you before, we're going to start talking about articles in Spanish. Articles in Spanish. First, I would like to talk a little bit about articles in English. That's something that you already know because that's your language. That's the thing that you understand, is your native language, of course, for most of you. And in English, we have three articles. We have a for like a car, a door, stuff like that. We have an apple, an orange, and we have the car, the apple, the orange, right? So articles are used before nouns. Those little words are used before nouns or noun equivalents. And we could say that articles are some type of an adjective. We have definite and indefinite articles in English, and we also have definite and indefinite articles in Spanish. So the definite article, the, 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 or the, is used before a noun in order to indicate that the identity of the noun is known to us. So we know the identity. We say the car because we know it's the car that we have there. We know what car is, whose car is. The teacher, we know who is a teacher, the teacher. So that's a definite article in English. The indefinite article a or an is used before a noun that is general or when its identity is not known. I know there's a car out there. I don't know whose car is that. A teacher. I don't know who he is, but I know he's a teacher. So those are definite and indefinite articles. Indefinite articles, a, are usually placed before a singular noun beginning with a consonant sound. A car, a door, a car, right? Indefinite articles in English, this is in English, and are placed before a singular noun that begins with a vowel sound. An apple, an orange. So in many contexts, some as an article can be also used as a plural for the indefinite article. So we have some would be the plural for a and an, right? Or an, which usually implies a limited quantity for something, right? So we have, in English, we have the articles that usually are a, an, and the, or the, and we have some also as an article. In Spanish, this works slightly different because in Spanish, we have gender and we have noun. So quantity. So we have the gender, we could say male or female, masculine, feminine, and we have the number. We can say we have 1, 2, 3, the plural, right? In English, we have plural, but the plural won't affect the articles. In Spanish, the articles are affected by both gender and number, right? So in Spanish, let's talk about first indefinite articles. In Spanish, indefinite articles, which in Spanish is artículos indefinidos, are words that we use before nouns, same as in English, to indicate that you're referring to a non-specific or unidentified item or thing, just as in English. The idea of the use of indefinite articles in Spanish is essential in order to understand how to use it in Spanish, because in Spanish, nouns can be female or male, masculine or feminine, and the number of the noun also is going to affect that article in Spanish. So in Spanish, for a or an, we have un, una, una. So in Spanish, let me show you here this. Let's move to this real quick. Give me just a second. Boom. Okay, so in Spanish, we have un, which would be the masculine singular article, un. And we have also una, which would be feminine singular, the article. So un is used before masculine singular nouns, because in Spanish, a noun can be singular or can be feminine, male or female, and singular. So if I say a book, I say un libro, because libro, the word libro, book, is male, is masculine. Book, masculine. Libro. So we say un libro. We don't say una libro, because libro is masculine. We don't say una. So if we have masculine and singular nouns, we always use un, which should be a. It can be a or an in English. It doesn't matter, because in English, we don't have any issues with gender at all. With number, of course, because we don't use a or an with plural. We don't say a cars. We don't say that. We say some cars in English. But for singular, we can say a book, and it's un libro, right? And it's male. It's male. Un perro, a dog. So for masculine singular, we have un. And for feminine singular, we have una. Before feminine singular nouns. So we have una flor, a flower, because flower in Spanish, flor, is feminine, is female. So we say una flor. We don't say un flor, una flor. Casa, a house, una casa. We don't say un casa, because casa in Spanish is feminine, is a female. Casa, gender affects the article. So in Spanish, we have un, una for singular, and we have the plural forms unos, unas for plural. Unos masculine and unas feminine. Unos libros, some books. Libros, books is male, is masculine. The same as dogs, perros is masculine, so we say unos libros, unos perros. But if the noun is feminine, as it is with flowers and casa, flores y casas, flowers and houses, flores and casas, we say unas. So for the indefinite article in singular and plural forms, we have gender, un, una, unos, unas. This starts to get tricky and a little bit complicated because, or complex, I don't know which one, complex, and I think both complex and complicated, because we need to know what nouns are masculine and what nouns are which nouns are masculine and which nouns are feminine. We need to learn that, but we're gonna get there just after we review this part first. So as I was explaining, we have the noun. We always have to the gender. We have to keep in mind the gender because it's going to dictate whether you should use un, una, unos, unas. It's always going to dictate whether it's plural or singular. Un, masculine, unos, masculine, una, feminine, unas, feminine. So we have to keep that in mind. So remember, just to remember, indefinite articles are used to refer to non-specific or unidentified items, just as in English, the same way. The thing is that the choice between un and una for singular depends on the gender of the noun. Same thing as unos or unas for plural. It depends on the gender. Now, indefinite articles in Spanish can be omitted when referring to when we are making reference to professions and religions or nationalities. So in English I say I'm a teacher, right? In English I say I'm a teacher. Yo soy profesor. I'm a teacher. In English I'm a teacher. Let me write this. In English I say I am a teacher. In Spanish, when I'm talking about professions, we do not translate this. We skip the indefinite article. So we say yo soy, I am profesor. Yo soy médico. I'm a doctor. Yo soy médico. In Spanish, we skip that. Yo soy colombiano. I'm a Colombian. I don't have to say the A. Yo no digo yo soy un. I can say yo soy un colombiano, but I usually omit that. Same thing. If I say I'm a Buddhist, that's religion, religion beliefs. In Spanish, I say yo soy. I omit the article. Whoa, professor. Sorry. Professor. I think it's like that. Professor. Whoops, professor. Oh yeah, soy profesor. Yo soy budista. I'm a Buddhist. As you can see, if I use professions, nationalities, or religion beliefs, I do not translate the indefinite article. That's something that we need to keep in mind. Now, let's go to definite articles. That's pretty much basic, right? But once again, it works exactly like in English. The only thing, the complexity of this starts when we have to face the nouns, because in Spanish we have gender in the nouns. For nouns we use the gender. So let's talk about definite articles, which are artículos definidos. So in Spanish, definite articles or artículos definidos are used to make reference to specific or known items or things, just as in English. Of course, the using this correctly is an important part of Spanish, both speaking and writing, because I have to be clear when I'm making reference to the items or things that I'm talking about. So the articles, the definite articles in Spanish, in English we have just the. The. In English, we have just that, the. But in Spanish, we have male singular or masculine singular, feminine singular or female singular. We have male plural, masculine plural, and we have feminine plural. We have that. We have the difference. So for the, we have el, la, los, las. We have all of that. We have 4 different words. And the use of the word, the choice of the words depends on the noun, the gender, and the number of the noun. So, el, la for singular, los, las for plural, el for masculine, la for feminine, los for masculine, las for feminine. So, if I have the book, el libro, because libro in Spanish is masculine. El perro, the dog. I say el perro because dog in Spanish is masculine. La flor, the flower. La, I choose la because it's feminine, singular. La casa, same thing. Casa is feminine, singular. Los libros, the books, masculine, plural. Los perros, the dogs. I don't say las perros, las libros. No, because it's masculine. I say las flores. It's feminine, plural. Las flores, las casas. I use that because it's feminine. Feminine. The use of that depends on the gender and the number of the nouns. So remember, the choice between el, la, los, and las depends on the gender and number of the noun. Always. El, singular masculine nouns. La, singular feminine nouns. Los, plural masculine nouns. Las, plural feminine nouns. So remember, the choice depends on the gender. When I'm talking about specific things, we always use the definite articles. Unlike in English, when we are talking about abstract nouns or general concepts, we use the articles. So you know that in English, let me check this here. In English, we have, if I say, nature is beautiful, this is a general noun, nature in general. In general, in English, we don't use the, we don't use we don't say the nature. We don't say that. We say nature is beautiful. So in Spanish, we say la. We use the gender, the article. La naturaleza es hermosa. So in English, in Spanish, unlike in English, definite articles are always used, always. We also commonly use the definite articles before days of the week. Days of the week. So we say Monday, we say el lunes. Days of the week. We use that. Days of the week. El lunes. El martes. Tuesday. El miércoles, Wednesday. So in Spanish, nouns has a gender, and it's either classified as masculino and femenino, masculine or feminine, male or female. You may be asking right now. So this is all for definite and indefinite articles. This is pretty much easy because it's basically the same as in English. The trick comes when we have to identify the gender, basically not the noun, but the gender of the nouns in Spanish. That's the trick. That's the issue. That's the problem. So let's talk a little bit about nouns and gender in Spanish. There are some general guidelines in order to know whether we have a feminine or masculine noun, the gender of a noun. but keep in mind that there are exceptions. So sometimes we need to just remember by heart, learn it by heart, but sometimes there are some rules and we need exposure. We always need exposure to this. So let's check about masculine nouns, masculinos. Masculinos. We have hombre, perro, lunes, enero, libro, and carro. Most nouns that refer to male people or male animals are masculine. In the case of hombre, male people, el hombre, un hombre, los hombres, unos hombres, masculine. El perro, the dog, perro, masculine, because it's the masculine animal, the male animal, right? When we talk about days of the week and months, they always are masculine. So we say lunes is masculine. So we say el lunes. We don't say la lunes. We don't say that. We don't say la lunes. No, we say el lunes. El lunes. Because it is masculine. It is masculine. Same thing with the month. We used to say enero. Enero is masculine. So we say el mes de enero. El mes de enero. Enero. Enero, masculine. Un enero, masculine. So months and days are masculine. When you have a noun ending in O, that's typically masculine. Libro, el libro, carro, el carro, perro, el perro, tarro, el tarro. So that would be some guidelines in order to understand masculine nouns. So feminine nouns, some ideas in order to identify feminine nouns. Let me scroll this up a little bit. So most nouns that make reference to female people or female animals are feminine. Makes sense. For example, woman, mujer, la mujer, not el mujer. It's female, right? Feminine. Gata, the female cat. Gata, not gato. Gato is the male cat. Gata, the female cat. So feminine nouns following these ideas are feminine in Spanish. Gender. Nouns ending in a, in a, right, are often feminine. Casa, la casa. Ventana, la ventana. That's feminine. Nouns that end in ción, that, tut, umbre are usually feminine. So we have nación, ends in ción. La nación. We don't say el nación, la nación. Canción, la canción. Ciudad, la ciudad. Necesidad, la necesidad. Altitud, la altitud. Costumbre, la costumbre. So nouns ending in ción, that, tut, umbre are usually feminine. And with that, we have some ideas about how to make differences between masculine and feminine nouns, which we are going to need in order to properly use those definite and indefinite articles, of course, because as we said before, definite and indefinite articles are basically, they basically make differences between nouns based on the gender of the noun in Spanish. We have some exceptions to this rule. I have these exceptions here. We have artista, ends in a, right? A, artista, but we say el artista. We can say la artista, but el artista is totally valid. Modelo, ends in o, but we say la modelo. We can say la modelo or el modelo, both. Those are exceptions to the guidelines that we just saw a few minutes ago. Agente, ends in e, y e. El agente, la agente can be both. For when we have nouns ending in e, they're usually masculine or feminine. nouns ending in e. When certain fruits and trees are exception, and they have fixed genders, fixed, like banana. Banana is plátano or banano. Banano or plátano is masculine. We don't say plátana or banana. No, we say banano. That's fixed. Some fruits and trees are the exceptions. Manzana, the apple, is feminine. It's always, we don't say manzano unless we talk about el árbol de manzano. Manzano. El árbol de manzana, manzano. Same thing with naranja, orange. Naranja is always feminine. We don't say naranjo unless we talk about el árbol, the tree that gives the oranges, which is female, the tree, el árbol, right? And there are some nouns that may have different meanings based on their gender. So, el cura. You see, it doesn't matter if it ends in a. We can say el cura. If I say el cura, I mean the priest, el cura. But if I say la cura, which I can do that in Spanish, I say the cure. Interesting, right? So these are some kind of guidelines for this. Those are guidelines. We need to practice, of course. We need to practice this, and it's important for us to start learning. But we just achieve this by exposure, exposing ourselves to practice. And this is, I'm going to show you how you can practice this, right? Native Spanish speakers always acquire this knowledge through exposure and practice, right? So you can do that, but you can also try and memorize. Practice a lot in order to memorize the gender of the words. So an exercise, a basic exercise that you can do is just get lists. So find the list of nouns in Spanish, of course, nouns which are male, masculine. I have here a list of 20 nouns which are male. So I get the list and then I start practicing with all of the articles. So I say perro, which is dog. And this way I'm also learning vocabulary, right? I'm expanding vocabulary. So I say dog. Dog in Spanish is male. Perro, perro. So I say el perro, un perro, los perros, unos perros. This is the practice that I'm going to do, right? And I'm going to practice this with all of the words. Carro, car, carro. So I say el carro, un carro, los carros, unos carros. I'm practicing using the article, the definite article and the indefinite article, both in singular and plural, for these nouns, which I know these nouns because I just made a list of masculine nouns in Spanish. So I just practice in order to get used to that. Amigo. Amigo is male in Spanish. Amigo. So I say el amigo, los amigos, un amigo, unos amigos. I'm practicing. Profesor, also male. El profesor, un profesor. Los profesores, unos profesores. That's easy. Día, check it out. It ends in a. In a, right? A in English, a in Spanish. Día. So this is an exception because it's el día. We don't say la día. El día. El día, un día, los días, unos días. Chico, a boy. El chico, un chico, los chicos, unos chicos. Libro, book. It's masculine, book. El libro, un libro, los libros, unos libros. Árbol, tree. El árbol, un árbol. Los árboles, unos árboles. Remember, you should be practicing this along with me right now. If not, do that later. You can do that later watching the video, or you can just find words by yourself, yourself, make sure it's a list of male nouns and then start practicing the articles. Doctor, the doctor, el doctor, los doctores, un doctor, unos doctores. The sun, sun, sol, el sol, un sol, unos soles, los soles. Father, padre, or papá, padre. Papá also ends in a. It's an exception because it's male. You know, we don't say la papá. We say la papa, which is something that we eat, potato, la papa. But papá as father, as dad, we say el papá. El papá, los papás, un papá, unos papás. Or el padre, un padre. Los padres, unos padres. Hermano, brother, male, brother. El hermano, los hermanos. Un hermano, unos hermanos. Reloj, watch. El reloj, un reloj. Los relojes, unos relojes. Gato, the cat, cat. Un gato, unos gatos. El gato, los gatos. Abuelo, el abuelo, un abuelo. Los abuelos, unos abuelos. Tío, el tío, los tíos, un tío, unos tíos. Sobrino, un sobrino, unos sobrinos, el sobrino, los sobrinos. Niño, un niño, el niño, los niños, unos niños. Vaso, glass, el vaso, un vaso, los vasos, unos vasos. And sombrero, sombrero, hat, un sombrero, unos sombreros, los sombreros, unos sombreros. Sombrero, as opposed to a cap, this is a cap. Sombrero is the one who has the 360 brim. All that covers all of the 360 degrees. The brim covers. This is a cap, just this part. But the sombrero in Spanish is that. Sombrero, the one that goes all the way. So we have 20 words, 20 nouns in Spanish that are masculine. And I practice that. So the next step that I have for you is we have 20 nouns that are female, feminine. And we do the same thing just for practicing and getting used to that. So we start. Mesa, la mesa. Las mesas, una mesa, unas mesas. Casa, la casa, las casas, una casa, unas casas. Silla, la silla, las sillas. Una silla, unas sillas. Amiga, la amiga, las amigas, una amiga, unas amigas. Profesora, la profesora, las profesoras. Una profesora, unas profesoras. Noche, la noche, una noche. Las noches, unas noches. Chica, la chica, las chicas. Una chica, unas chicas. Flor, la flor, las flores. Una flor, unas flores. Enfermera, la enfermera, las enfermeras, una enfermera, unas enfermeras. Luna, la luna, las lunas. Una luna, unas lunas. Madre, la madre, las madres. Una madre, unas madres. Hermana, la hermana, las hermanas. Una hermana, unas hermanas. Computadora, la computadora, las computadoras. Una computadora, unas computadoras. Puerta, la puerta, las puertas. Una puerta, unas puertas. Abuela, la abuela, las abuelas. Una abuela, unas abuelas. Tía, la tía, las tías. Una tía, unas tías. Sobrina, la sobrina, las sobrinas. una sobrina, unas sobrinas. Niña, la niña, las niñas, una niña, unas niñas. La botella, las botellas, una botella, unas botellas. And falda, la falda, las faldas, una falda, unas faldas. So this first exercise that you can do in your house is you can use this list. Of course, you have 40 words that you can learn. Right now you have learned 40 words, and you have 40 words. You find 40 nouns, masculine nouns in Spanish, and you practice repeating all of the articles, definite and indefinite articles, based on the gender. That's the first thing. The second exercise that you can do is to take all of those and mix them up randomly. It's interesting because you're going to mix them up randomly. And then you're going to try and see if you have learned, and we can check. So let's try it. Why don't we try this? So carro, go there in your houses. Carro. How would it be? If I say the car, what would be? El carro, masculine. The cars, los carros. A car, un carro. Some cars, unos carros. Flor, what's flor? The floor. The floor would be what? You got it? La flor. So we have la flor, las flores. Una flor, unas flores. Cat. What would be the cat? Cat. Remember, animals, masculine. El gato, los gatos, un gato, unos gatos. Mesa, table. What would it be? Mesa. Ends in a. La mesa. Las mesas, una mesa, unas mesas. Niño. What do you think? Niño. El niño. Los niños. Un niño, unos niños. Hermana, sister. Easy, right? La hermana. Las hermanas. Unas hermanas. Las hermanas. Una hermana. Amigo. Friend. Amigo. El amigo. Los amigos. Un amigo. Unos amigos. Silla. What would it be? La silla. Las sillas. Una silla, unas sillas. Give me a second. I'm running out of battery, so give me just a second. I need to connect my laptop to the charger real quick, because I'm broadcasting from my laptop, so just running out of battery. Give me just a second. In the meantime, you can just check by yourselves. Okay, so libro, the book. What would it be? El libro, los libros. Un libro, unos libros. Niña, girl. Niña, the kid, the girl. La niña, las niñas. Una niña, unas niñas. Padre, father. El padre, los padres. Un padre, unos padres. Doctora, la doctora. Las doctoras. Una doctora, unas doctoras. Profesor. What do you think? Profesor. El profesor. Los profesores. Un profesor. Unos profesores. Casa. La casa. Las casas. Una casa. Unas casas. Hermano. El hermano. Los hermanos. Un hermano, unos hermanos. Profesora, teacher. La profesora, las profesoras. Una profesora, unas profesoras. Amigo, friend. El amigo. Los amigos. Un amigo, unos amigos. Madre, la madre, las madres. Una madre, unas madres. Perro, dog, el perro, los perros. Un perro, unos perros. Amiga, la amiga, las amigas. Unas amigas, una amiga. Madre, la madre. Did I have madre already? I think I had madre already. Oh no, I don't have madre already. Madre. Oh yeah, I had madre already. I don't know why. And doctor. See, I also, I'm repeating some here. But anyhow, that's because check, casa already. Oh yeah, I repeated those. Sorry, profesor, amigo, Flora. Okay, so anyhow, so what the idea of the exercise for you is to get those words and mix them up, the male and female, and start doing what we just did as an exercise. And the next exercise that you're going to try and do is to get some sentences in English and try and translate the right way using the sentences have to include the use of definite and indefinite articles, because by doing that we're going to have to translate that into Spanish using the right articles based on the gender and the number of the nouns. So in this case, as I saw a dog in the park. I saw, well, this is a little bit more advanced because you need to know more, because you need to translate different tenses and so and so. But let's focus just on the article and the noun. I saw a dog in the park. So a dog, what would be? A dog. A dog. Un perro. Un perro. The sentence itself says, yo vi or vi un perro en el parque. But let's first, because this is the idea of this class, focus only, on the articles and the nouns, the translation. The cat is sleeping on the couch. The cat. The cat, if it's a male cat, would be el gato. If it's a female cat, would be la gata. The couch, el sofá, el sofá. She bought a dress for the party. Okay, un perro and the park. We have un perro and the park, el parque. So she bought a dress for the party. A dress would be un vestido. The party, la fiesta. Ella trajo un vestido para la fiesta. A dress, un vestido. The party, la fiesta. Remember, you have sentences in English using articles, both definite and indefinite, with nouns, plural, singular, whatever you want. And you need to focus first on translating the right way the nouns with the article, right? You can try and translate the whole sentence, but do not worry about that yet, unless you're intermediate or somehow advanced. So, the birds are singing outside. The birds. Los pájaros, and also can be translated as las aves. So make sure you're taking note of the words, because we're learning words. I need a cup of coffee. I need a cup of coffee. A cup. Una taza. Una taza. A cup. The book on the shelf is interesting. The book. El libro. The shelf. El estante. Very interesting. La estantería. It's interesting, right? Let's say el estante or la estantería. They have an apple in the back. An apple. An apple. Una manzana, the bag. El bolso, but it can be also la bolsa. El bolso o la bolsa, both of them. The teacher gave us a homework assignment. The teacher gave us a homework assignment. The teacher, if it's male, would be el profesor. If it's female, would be la profesora. A homework, una tarea. Remember, make sure you're taking note of new words. We visited a museum yesterday. A museum. Un museo. A museum. The car in the garage is red. The car. El carro. The garage. El garaje. In Spanish, we say garaje. Garaje. She is reading a newspaper in the park. A newspaper. Un periódico. The park. El parque. The children are playing with a ball. The children. Los niños. In general, los niños. Can be both niños and niñas, but we say niños if it's both niños and niñas. If there's only girls, we say las niñas. If there's only boys, we say los niños. If it's mixed, we say los niños, also in Spanish. Make sure you remember this too. A ball, una pelota, or un balón. Ball can be both pelota or balón. I saw the movie last night. The movie, la película. He bought a new bicycle. A new bicycle. Una bicicleta nueva. Bicycle, bicicleta, new, nueva. In Spanish, we usually have the noun before the adjective as opposed to in English. Una bicicleta nueva, a new bicycle. The restaurant serves delicious food. The restaurant. El restaurante. We visited the zoo on Sunday. Visitamos el zoológico. The zoo, el zoológico. On Saturday, I misread. On Saturday. El sábado. Remember, days are always male. El sábado, masculine. A bird is singing outside my window. A bird. Un pájaro. Remember, we said that before a few minutes ago. Or una ave. Una ave. Window would be ventana. Una ventana. In this case, my window, mi ventana. She has a cat and a dog as pets. A cat. If it's a female cat, would be una gata. If it's a male cat, would be un gato. And dog would be un perro. There's a word for a female dog, but we're not going to use that right now. The mountains are beautiful in the morning. The mountains, las montañas, plural, feminine, las montañas. The morning, la mañana. I need a glass of water. A glass, un vaso. And that's the third exercise. So remember, try and find lists of words. Make sure you can sort them first as, let's say, masculine, Spanish masculine, and try and read them out loud using the according articles, definite, indefinite articles. El, la, los, las. Un, uno, unas, unos. Also with female, and then mix them up, and then remember, start thinking about sentences in English that are going to use those articles, all of the articles, and try and think, okay, this one would be male, female, according to what you have studied. So remember, this is basically it. So basically we studied the articles in Spanish, how to use them, right? And we know that in Spanish we need to make the differences between nouns according to the gender. This is very important. The number is exactly as in English, two, number, plural, singular, and according to this, gender and number, we need to make differences and make sure which article we're going to use, whether it's a definite or indefinite article. Very important. So start practicing, start practicing. So what's the idea now? The idea for you to practice is practice regularly. Repeat this exercise on a regular basis with different sets of nouns. Try and find different sets of nouns in order to practice this exercise on a regular basis. You can create flashcards. You can use learning apps or a website that maybe you can find, hey, I want to practice articles in Spanish based on noun and gender, a number and gender. You can do that. You can use ChatGPT with certain prompts. You can ask ChatGPT, hey, I want to practice articles in Spanish based on nouns with different genders and numbers. Remember that this is going to be useful in order to expand your vocabulary. As you become more proficient, add more nouns to those lists. You need to add more nouns in order to get a very vast knowledge and vocabulary. Include those words in your daily life. Try to do that on a daily basis in order to reinforce your knowledge. Try to use nouns in sentences. Now, if you feel confident enough with the article and the gender, start practicing, right? Try to practice and try to identify those. And also you can do that from English to Spanish. Mastering the noun gender in Spanish, it's going to take time and practice, but it's not impossible. And you have to be patient. You have to be patient, but you need a regular exposure to language, reading, speaking. Try and find language exchange partners. This is going to be very, very, very useful. So this is basically it. I don't know if you have some questions. In the meantime, remember, if you like the video, you know what to do. Please share with your friends, group, social media. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the bell button because that's gonna send you notifications whenever we are either on a live class or whenever we post a brand new video. We post videos on a weekly basis. I'm trying to bring as much of videos as I can in order to help you with this process. By subscribing, you also are going to be able to participate in the chats during these live broadcasting. So I'm kind of tired right now, so it's been a long week. So sorry if I'm like. So remember that. Also, we have the membership program. Thanks a lot to all of you that belong to that program. That's the way in order to assist, to show your support. And right now I'm also working on a Patreon site that's gonna come out soon. I'm gonna publish that pretty soon, and I'm going to offer you guys some other stuff there if you want to become patrons, this and that. I'm gonna let you know when time comes. So basically that's it. I think that's it for today. What's missing? No more videos coming. I'm about to start a basic course of Spanish. All of this information is going to be useful in order to give you the basis and foundations to follow that course. So hopefully you're going to be there. So I don't see any questions. Let me check. Not on my phone. Let me see if I have. Okay. Oh, I have some stuff here. Okay. Daily Jessica says La Mesa. Thank you. I don't know why I usually have a phone here with technology sometimes won't work. I have a phone here with a chat screen, so I can go with the class and check the chat screen. but somehow I see there are some things that didn't go out here, and I can hear that. I can see that here. So thank you, Daily Jessica. She said La Mesa, perfect. James wouldn't say muchas gracias, Mike. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias a ti, James, por estar aquí. El libro, very good. Ariane. Ariane is one of the supporters of the channel. She's part of the membership program. She's from Australia and she's starting to learn Spanish with us. So thank you for being here and thank you for support. Serena is a very good friend of mine. She's my best friend now. We're very good friends. She's a gamer. She's got a channel on YouTube which is called Adventures with Brett. If you like gaming, you can check it out. Let me write it right here. youtube.com/@adventures with Red. And she's also making short films right now. She's doing great. Faith Connell, muchas gracias a ti. So remember, these classes, some people say, hey Mike, why you go anytime, my friend. A lot of people say, hey Mike, why do you speak in English if you want to teach Spanish? I do that because I want you to understand, to fully understand the basis and the foundation of whatever I'm trying to teach you. So that's the reason why I teach this in English. But I have a lot of videos here in which you can hear me speaking fully in Spanish. I go fully in Spanish, Colombian Spanish. This is kind of hard. Spanish is hard, Colombian Spanish is hard. So I can go like this. Listo, parceros, vamos a empezar a estudiar ahora, vamos a irnos con toda, vamos a sacarle el jugo a todo esto, así que métanle la ficha, no se dejen quedar atrás y nos vemos en la próxima clase. Wow, that was crazy, wasn't it? But eventually, yeah, you're gonna get there. So this is a matter of practice. This is a matter of practice. Don't worry about that. Try and practice as much as you can. I'm bringing you contents that hopefully are gonna be helpful in this process. And oh, Serena, you're so kind. You're so kind. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. I don't see any questions here. Thanks to every one of you who were here during this live class. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Remember, like the video, show your appreciation, support the channel, be here, enjoy these contents, share the contents. Gracias por estar acá. Un abrazo fuerte para todos y nos vemos en la próxima clase. See you next class. Have a great weekend. Tengan un excelente fin de semana. And night night. Bye bye.